What better way to celebrate our 100th episode than a Superflex mock draft?
Are you ready? Let's go!
We are back. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Vandy. That's Trey. And the time is now, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100th episode, baby. We are here. I remember when we were like, if we can make it to the 7th episode, we're good. Well, now we've made it to the 100th. We are established. We are ready to go. We got people loaded in the draft, and they are excited to draft with us. We're going to give y'all some grades afterwards. It's a big day for Fourth and Flex, and it's a big day for fantasy football.
That's right, baby. Happy birthday to Fourth and Flex, the 100th episode. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it wouldn't be a 100th episode without talking about our friends at Manscaped. Look, if you haven't heard already, it's smooth sack summer. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure you're scraped with pubes to bum. Make sure you're scraped from pubes to bum. That's right. This is the summer to keep your balls cool while still looking hot with Manscaped. The leader in below the waist grooming are making sure we all have a ball this summer by giving our pants partners everything they need to stay fresh. Dive headfirst into smooth sack summer by going to manscaped.com using promo code Superflex20. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping, Trey.
No doubt, man. I know that ball toner keeps my balls cold and smooth all summer. No sweat, no threat. Manscaped, baby. Superflex 20, free shipping, 20% off worldwide. You know what to do.
That's right, Manscaped. But again, we're here for a reason, buddy, and that reason is to draft a Superflex team. Of course, this is redraft. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get us set up, buddy.
Shuffle it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me pop that bad boy on the screen here. There she is. All right, let's get it going, buddy.
Let's get it.
Well, yeah, Superflex mock draft. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. We're gonna help you out. Let's get it.
You want me this draft is sponsored by Manscaped. Comes in the chat. Let's go.
Randomizing.
Okay. I'm at the 3. Josh is at the 9. A little different, little switch up. Let's get it going.
All right. We got some people in the chat already. Fantasy Sports Corp says not just flex, super flex. You already know.
Hey, can you change the timer? It's on, I think, 9 hours or something like that is what's showing on mine.
Yeah, definitely can change that. Yeah, that's
just in case somebody, isn't paying attention.
You're right, buddy. You're right. That's not going to work. 9 hours. Christina says, let's go.
Wait, let's go.
Trent says, let's get it. Job says, thanks for inviting me. Job also says, did y'all hear about my Colts possibly adding Kareem Hunt?
Definitely. Just heard the news. I've seen the Saints had a good thing, but he might be going to the Colts to check it out. I think the Colts would be a better spot, honestly. The Saints are pretty stacked at running back. I think Kareem Hunt would just fill that space that we don't need. I'm excited for him to go to the Colts if that's where he ends up.
For sure. I like it. I was thinking the Saints wouldn't be a very good spot for him, honestly. With all the running back stuff going on the Saints, I think that's Jamal Williams' job, at least for the beginning. So I like the Colts better than I like the Saints for sure.
Yes, sir. You are on the clock. Okay. Just a review here. Start of the first round. Justin Jefferson goes first, then followed by Patrick Mahomes. I took Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar, Justin Fields, and Herbert. So all QBs outside of Justin Jefferson. This is a super flex. Doesn't always mean you have to take a quarterback round 1. Just saying.
Yeah, but it would be so hard to pass on Patrick Mahomes in the 1 slot. But I can understand why, And Job says, do y'all think it moves his fantasy value up or down?
I mean, honestly, I think no matter where he ends up, it's going to be a dart throw. I mean, you probably go undrafted regardless. I mean, maybe the Colts with all the craziness and all their running backs hurt and Jonathan Taylor drama, it could be a possibility, but it's so far-fetched to me that it's not somebody I'm really caring to change his draft value, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I agree. Okay, let's see. I like it. I took Trevor Lawrence, man. I'm telling you, if I'm at the 9 spot and Trevor Lawrence is still there in a super flex, I'm taking him all day.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it completely. It's a good spot for him. Honestly, I mean, especially with all these other guys going off the board, Trevor Lawrence is that late round target for me for quarterback for Superflex.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If I can get him, I'm definitely gonna grab him, especially in the ninth. Yeah. But then Jamar Chase goes, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Bijan, Cooper Cup. Yeah, I was hoping CMC would come back. I mean, I was pretty sure that wasn't gonna happen, but I was hoping.
Right, right. Well, you see Austin Eckler and Bajan go at the turn. And Bajan with the news, being the RB3 on the depth chart for the Falcons, that's a little scary to me. But maybe that's a ploy or something that they're just trying. No, don't watch tape on Bajan. He's not a big deal, and then they're going to throw him out there and just hammer him. But it is scaring me, which I haven't really been able to get Bajan whenever I wanted him anyway. It's just a little too rich for my blood where he's going. But now it scares me just a little bit more. Probably somebody I'll stay away from, but I know you're all about that, buddy.
Ooh, I don't know, man. It's scary, but I think you might be right. I think that that's kind of what they're doing. Is it's just it's really scary taking Bajan early, but I don't know, man. I just don't see how a guy like this, maybe because he's a rookie, they're scared to give him that kind of thing. So what are they going to do? Lean on Tyler Algier?
Yeah, I mean, or Cordero Patterson.
Cordero coming late in drafts. I've grabbed me some Cordero like way down there a couple times this in these mock drafts we've been doing.
I just think with the news, I'm like, I'd rather take a risk on Algier in a late round where it's not going to destroy my team versus, if something happens and he really is on third on the depth chart, you've got him that far in the or that early in the draft and it really destroys your team.
Yes, sir. And you're on the clock, buddy. You're on the
I
clock.
sure am.
It's interesting, but Travis Kelsey in the second round. Honestly, I'm really interested to see if that's going to make Cordero Patterson's IDP raise or what. I guess we're going to find out pretty soon here, huh?
Yeah, definitely, and it might not, but Tyler Algier maybe even get bumped up a few notches. Who knows? It's an interesting thing. I think it's a shell shock for the fantasy world, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Kelsey in the second. We've been seeing him go in the first, no matter super flex, PPR, half PPR, all of them. So it's good to see this guy popping in the second round. Trey goes Jalen Hurts, then Amon Ra. Tell me, what are you thinking here, buddy?
I'm thinking those are my dudes, bro. I'm so excited to watch these guys play, and they're going to be incredible. And like I say, you want good guys on your team, but you also want guys that you're going to want to watch. And both these two guys, I'm going to watch all the time. I'm going to love them in the end zone, and I'm going to love them on my team. I'm excited at the start of this team.
Yeah. You go out there, you give 110%, you play good, you want to play good. I think we played pretty good tonight. In the comments, name that movie. I bet nobody gets it.
I got no clue.
Yeah, it just felt right in the moment, buddy. It just felt right. But let's take a look at the big board here. Deshaun Watson in the third round, Tony Pollard. Trey goes Derrick Henry. I like it, Trey. Go get you a quarterback, get you a wide receiver, then grab you a running back. I like it.
That's how I move.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get you a good player in like each position. It makes sense. It makes sense. Garrett Wilson goes, then Jalen Waddle. Sam is on the clock. I don't know, buddy. I saw Nick Chubb sitting out there, and it looked pretty juicy in the second round. So Trevor Lawrence, Nick Chubb, I think it's a pretty good start to my team. What do you think?
Look, man, we both have Nick Chubb number 1 on our fantasy running back list. So if Nick Chubb's out there and we don't have a running back and we're not taking him, then we're doing something wrong.
I like it.
Guess what? Derrick Henry was number 2 on my list. If you want to see the rest of our list, go check out our running back video. But guess what? Nick Chubb's off the board. I'm looking at running backs. Derrick Henry's there. That's my number 2. That's who I grabbed. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Consistency.
sir. Yes, sir. Gotta love that consistency. But I'm on the clock now, and I'm thinking another running back is gonna just feel just right on this team, buddy.
Wouldn't you know?
But I don't know. Maybe I should go ahead and grab my second quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, maybe a little Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay. A little Tagovailoa. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Gotta
making
do
sure,
it.
if you don't have one of the most elite quarterbacks, to go ahead and grab your backup early so you can kind of have somebody to balance out your quarterback slot. I like it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But and maybe a decent running back will still be sitting there. The guy I was looking at, I think, will still be there when it comes back around to me. But you never really know how these things are going to shake out, buddy.
Exactly. And I know exactly who you're looking at, but we'll see when we get there.
You think so, huh?
I sure do. I surely do. But
You know,
we got people in the draft in the chat, so I'll hang on to that little memory there for just a little second.
taking a look at the big board, the start of the fourth round, Aaron Rodgers in
Yeah,
the
man.
third round. I like it.
He is climbing, bro. He is constantly climbing. You hear
All of
where
it.
he called that play in the Hall of Fame game? He was like on the mics, he's calling the play. He was like, throw it up to Malik. And boom, they throw a deep pass, and boom, Malik catches it, and they're like, everybody's slapping him on the back, and they're like, "Great call, Aaron! Great call!"
Oh, they're kissing his ass over there in New York. They're like, "We love you," just like they were kissing Brady's ass in Tampa. I can live with it. I can live with it.
You have to, man. I mean, he's supposed to be the future of your team, for the next couple years, anyway.
What about old Eric Bieniemy over there for the Washington Commanders? He's getting a little crazy, a little aggressive with the players. I've heard, man, and they're kind of a little bit shaken about it. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't actually heard that. That's interesting. Kind of like what was happening with the Jacksonville Jaguars, or what?
They're Ron Rivera's giving him like total control of
You're on
the
the clock, by the way.
offense and stuff like that. So he's just kind of doing what he does. He comes from Kansas City. He comes from that place, and I mean that's how they do things over there.
And exactly who I expected you to pick. He did fall to you. You were good in waiting. Jameer Gibbs, baby. Let's go.
And I got me a decent quarterback, and yeah, I mean Jameer Gibbs. All reports out of camp are that it's going to be a two-headed monster with David Montgomery. I think he's going to be a part of the head of the monster that's running out and catching passes. So I think Jameer Gibbs is a great addition to my fantasy roster, buddy.
Very much so. Very much so. I really wasn't expecting him to fall to you, but Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen, Devonta Smith, all wide receivers go off the board. That's like the theme of this year. Running backs are falling, and you're getting major value on some of these good running backs. That's why I like grabbing me a big wide receiver early, because I know I'm still going to have a couple guys a little later.
Yes, sir. They're falling, and I'm gonna eat them bad boys up.
All right, follow Jameer Gibbs. T. Higgins goes, Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, DK Metcalf, and TJ Hawkinson. Okay, can we risk it? I think we can wait on a quarterback. Looking at the running backs here, looking at the wide receivers, I'm not too excited about some of these running backs at the top. But there's a guy on the wide receiver list that I've been rising on constantly, and that is top 10 quarterback, and I think half PPR last year, or wide receiver, Amari Cooper, baby. Let's go.
Oh,
You suck.
you know I love me some Amari Cooper, buddy. I wanted me to grab me some of him, man. But I get it. I get it. Yeah, Amari Cooper,
Come
man.
on.
What? What's going
I'm,
on?
I'm just I'm just hoping the quarterback that I want doesn't come off the
Let me
board here.
see if I can figure it out. Don't pick him yet. Yeah, I know who you're getting. Definitely know who you're getting. But I'm not gonna call it out because the guy's in the chat.
Well, the guy that's waiting to pick, he's got two quarterbacks and he doesn't take him. So let me go ahead and get 3 pancakes. Call it a stack.
Jared
Goff.
Goff.
Let's go.
I knew it. I knew it, bro. I knew that's where you're
Hey,
going.
look, give me that Amon Ra Goff stack, bro. I want it all day.
I like it. That's a good stack to have, baby. I like it. Let's see. The start of the 5th round, Joe Mixon. I like the Aaron Jones and Joe Mixon back to back.
Super solid.
TJ Clue over there doing big things. I like it. Guys, don't forget to like this video for us. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already. This is the 100th episode, and I am loving it. We got a Jalen Waddle jersey that we're going to give away today, and if you are in the comments, we're going to put your name on the list. Go ahead and pop a comment up there. We're going to put grab some randos there and get you in the list for the Jalen Waddle signed jersey.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great. Gino goes right after him. He was a guy that I thought maybe you were looking at, but then I saw Jared Goff sitting there, and I'm like, no, that's his guy right
And I
there.
was looking at Geno, but I got Amon Ra, and I love me a good stack. And the Jared Goff Amon Ra stack, I really think of course the floor is low for these guys, but the ceiling is through the roof. I mean, these are the guys that could literally put up so many points that just the two of them can win you an entire week together because of how intense the offense is in Detroit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm on the clock here. I've got Trevor Lawrence, Nick Chubb, Tua Tagovailoa, Jameer Gibbs, and my gut is saying go running back here, but my heart is saying Debo Samuel needs to go on my team.
Hey, he's a running back at heart anyway, so there
That's
you go.
right. That's right, baby. I love it. What are you thinking about D Hop, Trey? Can we trust D Hop? He's going in the 5th round, around there, 4th and some. What do you think? Can we trust D Hop this year?
Look, I'm trusting him in the 5th round for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna, take him too early, but in the 5th round, I think that's value on Diop. I mean, this dude's a great wide receiver. He's going to a team that is desperate, need help for wide receiver. They've got Burks on the other side. He's gonna pull some traction. I know Diop's gonna get a lot of double coverage, but Burks is gonna show up and show out, and he's gonna pull some traction off Diop, and Diop is gonna thrive in that.
Yeah, I like it. This thing that scares me is they say the Titans is where old receivers go to die. Do we get a Julio Jones type season out of him, or you think we get the old D Hop that we know and love?
I think it's back to the old D-Hop ways. I don't think we get no Julio Jones type season.
Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed, because I love D Hop. He's always been solid. I've had him years past plenty of times, and he's always done me good.
Let's see. You go Debo, Kenneth Walker goes, Russell Wilson, J.K. Dobbins, and Christian Watson on the turn. A lot of people are big on Christian Watson. I think you had him in your top 10. That video comes out Friday on wide receivers. So if you want to check out, that's a little bit of a spoiler.
No, it's not, because I didn't have him in my top
Okay,
10.
that was yeah, it's the other guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, look, I don't know why, but their last names start with a W, and they kind of have a lot of similar things in common, being with Aaron Rodgers. I do get those guys confused a lot.
Yeah, no, all good, buddy, all good. I
Ooh,
go.
you monster.
Who?
You.
Well, you thought Dameon Pierce was going to make it all the way back to you?
I surely hoped.
Well, not
Because
today.
he was down that list just a little bit.
Yeah, not today. Dameon, Jameer Gibbs, Nick Chubb. My running back group is solid. Trevor Lawrence and Tua. I love my quarterbacks. Woo, this is a good one, man. We might have to make this an actual league.
All these running backs I'm looking at just steadily flying off the list, but that's okay. We got Derrick Henry to carry us.
Miles Sanders, you were looking at him, because I was too.
I was, yeah. It was Dameon Pierce, and then it was Miles Sanders. Both the dudes is off the list, so we'll have to see how this plays out here.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do you feel about Drake London this year? I mean, he's going in the 6th round in this draft. I mean, what are your thoughts here on a team that all we can talk about is their running backs?
That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. That's what scares me, is all we're talking about is the running backs in Atlanta. And you are on the clock, buddy, just so you know. But all we can talk about is the running backs. And if we're not talking about the running backs, we're talking about Desmond Ridder, who is hasn't been proven as a thrower of the football. So that's why you're seeing Drake London's ADP drop. I don't know, buddy. I mean, I guess if he's there and I need a guy, I'll grab him, but I'm not going out of my way to get Drake London or reaching for him.
Look, I know he's a great wide receiver, but we got to know, can his quarterback get him the ball? And on top of that, is the team going to even throw it? Like, they've got the running back power where they don't have to throw it much. Let's see here.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. But it's just, and Desmond Ridder might get out there, tear it up, and Drake London could have a career year. I mean, I just don't know if I'm willing to risk it yet on him, even though he is my type of wide receiver generally.
Right. And that's the thing, is I love Drake London. I love watching him play, and I love the kind of athlete he is, but it just scares me with the way this team works.
Yes. Yep. And real quick, I got to give a shout out to one of our fans. Shout out to Landon and Macy. Your mom says she loves you. Come and check out the 4th and Flex. Your mom loves you, man.
Shout out. Back to the board, and just want to take a look here. A bunch of guys are going off here. After Miles Sanders goes Terry McLaurin, Cam Akers, a slew of running backs. Alexander Madison. I take Rashad White, who I'm climbing on here recently. Alvin Kamara goes, James Conner, and then on the turn there, Derek Carr, Kyle Pitts. I grab me some George Kittle, secure me a solid tight end. DeAndre Swift, Mike Williams, Godwin, Waller, Ayuk, and Kirk go back to back. Just like Drake said, who do you like here more, Ayuk or Kirk? Who would you rather have? If well, you took Kirk, but if Ayuk was there, would you take Ayuk over Kirk, or would you still take Kirk?
Oh, that's a tough one. I probably would have took Kirk, just because of how high I am on him. But honestly, Ayuk might have been the call. I mean, we've seen Brock Purdy get in there and feed Ayuk last year, so Ayuk is probably the call. But my heart says go Christian Kirk, just because I know what his ceiling can be.
Yeah, man. And look, you got the stack with Trevor Lawrence, so I mean that's always a good tiebreaker for me if I'm torn between two wide receivers. I look at my quarterbacks, so I like it.
Yes, sir. Stack it up, baby. Stack it up. Well, we're getting into the 8th round here. As soon as Timmy makes his pick, Jordan Love, we're into the 8th round. Looking at the board, buddy, what teams stand out to you here?
Yeah, TJ Clue for starters. I mean, this team scares me to death. Obviously they took a little suffrage at quarterback, but still got Deshaun Watson and Derek Carr, who are both guys that have a high ceiling. They just have a lower floor. But he's got Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, and James Conner. I mean, James Conner, I don't care for it, but as my RB3, sure, all day.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's great team going on. Jefferson, Devontae, the quarterbacks, I mean, could be solid. He's got Carr, he's got Watson, so that could be a winning combination. We just don't know yet, and that kind of scares me. But I like it. I like the way it's shaping out too, buddy.
No doubt, especially drafting from the one spot, which puts so much pressure on a fantasy player.
It really does. It really does. Let me take a look here. I really like Big Z's team. Just the wide receivers, at least. I mean, right now he's going to have to try to find some running back depth, some good guys. Hopefully he can find that there. But those wide receivers, I really love, and of course Joe Burrow there is awesome.
Yeah, he's definitely kind of doing that zero RB style team, and it's looking out good. I mean, Cam Akers, obviously is not the greatest running back, but he has a high ceiling if he can actually step up and do what he's supposed to do. And that's what you have to do when you're taking all those wide receivers first, is you got to grab these guys who are going to surprise people. You got to take risk on some of these running backs. And I think Cam Akers, if I'm doing that kind of style, is one of those guys I'm willing to take a risk on in the later rounds.
See, and maybe that's why I like it so much, is because it's something I would never, ever do. I just couldn't imagine just relying on wide receivers. I know that's a big theme this year, but it's just not the way I go.
And look, and then he grabs Isaiah Pacheco, another guy that has the potential to score, and he's in the 8th round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I like it. You're on the clock, buddy, and of course you take your guy Traylon Burks, just the guy you were talking about a few minutes
Had a
ago.
dream about him last night. Crazy enough.
Oh, really? I got to hear this. Bring it on.
So his wife now is my cousin through marriage, basically, and she actually called me and asked me to DoorDash them some food, like bring them some McDonald's to their house. And I show up, and he opens the door, and he's like, "Hey, man, appreciate you so much for the food. Just come in, kick back. Let's hang out, because you got us the food here and everything like that. So we're gonna have a good time." Hold on, I'm on the clock.
Oh, come on. You can't leave me on a freaking on there like that.
Oh, I got Jordan Addison. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, let me
Autograph.
turn off this auto pick real quick. So he pulls me in. He's like, "Yeah, man, we got all this stuff going on." He's got people all over. They're having a big party. There's fireworks off the back porch. It's on a big river. I've never been to his house, by the way. But he's got this massive back porch. Everybody's having a good time. Fireworks shooting off. There's a big lake everybody's looking out on. And he's all like, "I really appreciate everything you've done for me. And all I did was bring him McDonald's, But I'm like, "Hey, man, no problem, whatever, And then I look over and I see somebody at this party stealing some of his stuff. And I'm like, "Hey, bro, dude's stealing your stuff. Like, what do you want me to do?" And he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "you're a real one. Like, I appreciate it." And he got 2 other guys. We kicked that dude out. We partied all night, man. It was great.
And not once did you say, "Hey, man, why don't you come on the podcast?" Come on now.
Nah, man, gotta be humble. Gotta be humble.
Not even in his dreams does he look out for. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. That's awesome.
But look, I got auto drafted Jordan Addison. I'm not upset at all. If anybody on Minnesota, if I don't have Justin Jefferson, I want Jordan Addison. I mean, this team lost Dalvin Cook. They lost Thielen. This dude's going to step into a 2 slot. I don't think Osborne is going to come in that spot. Jordan Addison's going to come in as a rookie. And, we got to see what happens with this dude. And that's why you're getting value in the 9th round if he does produce.
Absolutely, absolutely. I really like the way my team is shaping up here, buddy.
I like how you're kind of taking a little bit out of my book with the running back, receiver, running back, receiver, running back, receiver. I like that.
Oh, that's your book that I was taking it from. Oh, okay, my bad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I didn't realize I was stealing that from you. Yeah.
That's in my
I,
little page of
it-
notes.
oh, yeah. And please do explain what the benefit of that is.
It's just value and equal rights to running backs and wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really spread the love.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm just, I've been noticing a lot in drafts that I've been doing that, yeah, my running backs have been completely on point, but I've really been suffering in my wide receivers, which generally is something I deal with and usually have pretty good luck with, but I'm just trying to try something a little different here and see how it works out for me.
I feel you. I feel you.
Gabriel Davis goes. Evan Ingram, Njoku. I like it. I like it. What are you thinking about Gabriel Davis this year, buddy?
Yeah, man, he's just one of those guys. I want him in the late rounds if I've got him. I'm not reaching for him at all. He's got the high ceiling, but man, he can have a 0-point game, no problem. And that's what scares me. His floor is 0 points and his ceiling is 5 touchdowns. So that volatility, what do you want with that on your team? You need to have some solid guys around him for sure.
For sure, for sure. And Coach Hugh Jackson in the chat says David Njoku is going to be a top 10 tight end, which I guess it wouldn't be that hard, right?
No, definitely not. I mean, this dude's a monster. I've talked about him for years. He had kind of a little falling off there with Deshaun Watson coming back, but maybe after through the practice and everything like that, he's going to step it up. I mean, I love him as a player. I love Njoku.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you've always loved some Njoku. You probably started him a few times and did you really well, and that's how we end up falling in love with some of these players. They do something really good for us, and we love them. Just like you hate Kyle Pitts because he's done nothing for you ever.
Right, but on top of that, let me take my pick and go into further detail.
Okay. On top of that. Ooh, grab you some Tyler Algier just in case. Okay.
Just in case, got me some P. Ryan. I know I hear some things about Williams, being at practice and everything like that and being ready for the season to start. But an ACL tear means that your season is not going to be fully loaded. P. Ryan is going to get that work. And so I'm going to get some depth there. Okay. But back to my Njoku talk. This dude's a big hoss kind of player. That's one thing I like about him is he runs through players like a running back. I mean, he's a big, scary dude, and I love to see those guys just manhandle people on the field when they catch the ball. That's the kind of player I like, and that's Njoku.
Okay. I finally picked up my tight end, and I grabbed me some Dalton Schultz, which I've actually been hearing a lot of negative stuff about lately, probably because of the rookie quarterback over there, if I had to guess. But some people have been saying bad things about old Schultz. What do you think?
Hey, look, man, I like Schultz a lot, especially at the value in the 10th round. I mean, this dude was a monster for the Cowboys, and they had receivers to throw to. CJ Stroud, he's a rookie guy. He's going to come in there, and he's going to check it down. And I know he's going to check it to Dameon Pierce, but I think he's also going to check it to Dalton Schultz because Dalton Schultz is going to be that guy that's going to get the first down for you. He's going to get that short yardage touchdown for you. I think he's going to get a lot of end zone targets. I like Dalton Schultz.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love me some Schultzy as well. Love it as well. Let's take a look at the board at the start of the 11th round. Cole Kmet, Brandon Cooks, Tyler Algier, Jamal Williams, Charbonnet, Howell, Sam Howell, Shane Foreman, and oh crap, I'm on the clock. So I can tell you exactly who the next person on the list is going to be. Damian Harris.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I think Damian Harris is. I kind of probably shouldn't have taken Jared Cook or Jared Cook, the other Cook, James Cook, God, and Damian Harris. Now that I look at it, it was kind of a grab real quick. But hey, it's for depth. So one of these guys are going to be on the Bills, and one of these guys are going to, one of these guys are going to run the ball and make some points.
Definitely, definitely, and that's a quick little swap, and it's an 11th round, so it's not like it's going to hurt your team terribly. And if it just so happens that Damian Harris takes over that role, like we know he can do, you got value.
That's right, baby. Value, value, value. It's what we love. That inconsistency, like we said.
That's right, baby. That's right. So after Damian Harris goes Sky Moore, Greg Dulcich, Rashad Bateman, and Cortland Sutton on the turn. If you're watching this 12-man spot, he's doing a lot of back-to-backs. He grabbed him some Eckler and Robinson. Then he hit him with some Love and Murray, some Ingram and Njoku, some Bateman and Sutton. He's just trying to fill in his slots. And it's working out for him, I think, to a certain extent. I can dig it.
Yeah. Who are you talking about exactly?
12-team Timmy.
Oh, Timmy over there. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, filling out those slots. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know what I was just thinking about here with Big Z's team? Zach Charbonnet might be a great grab, buddy, because what we've been hearing about Kenneth Walker. Hopefully, he gets back on the field because I really like Kenneth Walker. But it's a little confusing because what they said Charbonnet was out indefinitely, and Kenneth Walker is out, but he was better, right? He was going to get better. But now Charbonnet's back at practice, and Kenneth Walker is still out. Please explain that to me.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I said, they said Charbonnet's out indefinitely just happened to be a week. And he's back in practice, and Kenneth Walker's still hurt. But like they said, Kenneth Walker is just a couple weeks out on being recovered, and we're a couple weeks out on the season. So I'm still leaning Kenneth Walker when it comes down to draft time.
Okay, and you're on the clock. You got 10 seconds left, buddy, when it comes down to draft
Let me get me a
time.
wide receiver here like I want.
So right now we're in the 12th round, so we're just trying to get some depths, some dart throws, some people that we think may help our team, maybe some guys we can drop later if we need to. Just filling out our team here. Trey, if you had to explain the difference in Superflex and just your regular standard league, what do you think, buddy? What do you like a bit more? I'd say
I like that quarterbacks matter. In a lot of these single quarterback leagues, these quarterbacks kind of, unless you grab one of these super elite guys, they almost kind of average out throughout the teams. A couple points here, a couple points there. But when you got two different quarterbacks to work with, and people are looking deep when they start getting in injuries, and you got to play some crazy quarterbacks with a low floor but a high ceiling, and you start watching that game, and your super flex quarterback who no one expected to come out, somebody like a Justin Fields last year, and he takes off for 80 yards. That kind of energy, you don't have that in single quarterback leagues.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I just want to point out that I was on that Justin Fields train before he started, being considered a top 10 quarterback. You can vouch for that.
Definitely. I'm still not on it, but I like what he did.
Yeah. I liked what he did too, because I rode that boy to the fantasy championship.
Right. And as always, you grab you some Nico Collins there in the 13th round. Tell us a little bit how you feel about Nico.
I mean, listen, Nico Collins, he's got great hands. Yeah, he's got a rookie quarterback. It's the same thing we were talking about with Dalton Schultz. But this guy is being slept on like crazy. Look, Brandon Cooks went to the Cowboys. Nico Collins is all they have, man. He's a number one wide receiver on a team with, there's like a quarterback competition technically going on. But we know C.J. Stroud's going to get in there. And even if it was Davis Mills, either way, you're getting a number one wide receiver in the 13th round. Come on, give me some Nico Collins all day. And I probably could have waited, just saying, another round to got him, but I want to make sure I got a piece of the action.
Hey, that's what you got to do, man, because just because you're on Nico Collins don't mean nobody else in your draft is. Some of these guys that are low in ADP, you got to reach for them a little bit if you want them on your team, because there's other guys that are higher on them than average ADP.
For sure. And I got to say, I went ahead and grabbed my third quarterback here. So honestly, normally in this position, Baker Mayfield is my guy. I know that doesn't sound good coming off my lips, but he is, the Bucs quarterback, or is he? Taking a look at the depth chart today, it's listed Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. Now, listen, I've never seen a depth chart that said or on it. So that scares me. And that's why I'm just going to wait on the old Baker Mayfield stuff.
Hey, I get it, man. I get it completely. I think that is all just media and hype and hoopla, and they're just trying to get a rise out of the fans. And I was going to take Baker here, but he goes off the board, and so that's going to leave me with not much at a third quarterback spot. Okay, let's see.
Well, let's see. What about old Heineke? Heineke or Bailey Zappi could be the starter. Who knows? With
Give me some Desmond Ritter, baby. Gotta do it. I'm probably dropping him pretty quickly, but you got to have some insurance in a super flex, man. If one of your quarterbacks goes down, you have got to find somebody else. Obviously, I'm expecting here in this situation maybe a Will Levis kind of taking the role, and I'm grabbing it up as early as possible. And then your Ryan Tannehill is out.
Yeah, I just went ahead and grabbed him. Now we got our kickers and defense coming up here. This is the part where people tend to look away, as they say. But me and Trey, we still go with some defense and kicker because it's a team. We're managing this fantasy football team, and you got to have a kicker and a defense to do it, right, buddy?
Exactly. You cannot win games without a defense. Cannot win games without a kicker.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you can, but you're gonna struggle.
All right, now here's a really serious question, buddy. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I guess who goes first, the kicker or the defense? What do you get first?
Look, in my opinion, unless I've got like Justin Tucker on the board there, I'm going defense. A lot of these kickers, it's going to be volatile every week. I like to stream kickers based on, the weather and the domes versus not domes. I really look into details on my kickers and I tend to stream them often. If I have the opportunity to grab one of these super strong defenses to ride out, at least for the first couple weeks until I can figure out who's really pushing on defense, I'm going to do that first.
Okay, I like it. Now, looking at the board here, I'm going to grab my defense, and I remember something you said in an episode. If I'm Bandy here, I'm just going to grab the Bills defense and roll on. So I didn't get the Bills defense just because you said that. So I went and grabbed the Jets defense.
Hey, there you go. Jets got some work on the defense, man.
That's right. Facebook user says, hello with a heart.
Hello.
Hello, Facebook user. Please put your name in the comments so we know who you are. I love it. But let's see, buddy. Got my kicker. I got my defense. I guess I'm gonna get my kicker. I'll go with Jake Elliott. Why not?
Okay.
Eagles. The Eagles, they got a harder schedule. I could see them getting into field goal range quite often. Jake Elliott comes in, kicks them field goals, baby.
No doubt. Young Ho Koo goes off the board there. Tyler Bass at the turn. Tyler Bass is one of those kickers I like to grab, man. I just don't know why, but I just feel solid about a Bills kicker for some reason. Yeah. I mean, they're going to put some points on the board. And in the Bills, there's bad weather there sometimes. And so that's why I kind of will go towards Kansas City, a Butker or something like that. Those are my two guys last year I had. And when it went into the playoffs time, I mean, I literally had both of them on my bench. And you might think that's crazy to have two kickers on your bench. But when they're putting up as much points as those guys are, and based on the weather, I was really focused in on those playoffs.
Ooh, wasted roster spot, my guy.
And it is not a... Oh, I'm not on the board yet. Hold on. I gotta wait on that just in case.
He's about to talk some crap, weren't you?
And whoever this is sniping me, bro. I was gonna say it's not a fourth and flex draft if Dicker the kicker doesn't get on one of our teams. Well, he didn't.
That's Yo Man Joe, I believe. Yeah, that's old Yo Man Joe. That's Job 561 and on YouTube.
Got sniped, baby. That's all right.
It's not a fourth and flex draft until Dicker the kicker gets hit. I like it. But that's the draft, baby. The draft board is full. I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you again, if you are watching on YouTube, please, guys, don't forget to hit the like button for us. Subscribe to the channel because we're giving away a Jalen Waddle signed jersey right here on this show. All you got to do is comment, put a comment in there, and you could be entered. We're going to pick 3 commenters to put on the list, and we're going to give that Jalen Waddle jersey away right before the season starts September 7th. So get some comments down there, so we'll get your name on the list for that signed jersey.
No doubt, no doubt.
And then don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you don't miss us calling your name out for the win. Just throwing that part out there.
Right, right. Got to be subscribed. Got to hit that notification bell because when we go live with that giveaway show and the season starts, you're going to want to be there because you can obviously get your name back on the list when you get in that comment section.
Exactly. Get you another entry. Okay, buddy, it is time. What do you think? Have we made it to the point in the off season where we can actually start putting grades on these bad boys?
I think so. I mean, obviously they're not going to be super official, but I think they'll be good enough to put out there.
Okay, then let's get it going, baby. Let's go. Let's start with TJ Clue's team. Started off with old Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Deshaun Watson, getting some running backs, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, James Conner, Derek Carr, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Pickens, Flowers, Komet, Hunt, Patterson down there. We were talking about Patterson's IDP. There he is. Still went in the 13th round, so that's interesting. And then you took Algier pretty late too, so that's something also to keep in mind. I don't think the Bijan stuff is scaring anyone.
Good, because if it does happen to be a problem, then we're still getting value in the 11th and 13th.
No doubt, no doubt. But yeah, I'm taking a look at this team. I love the running backs. I love Aaron Jones, Mixon, Connor. I think is a great third guy, maybe a flex spot, just depending on how your wide receivers are doing. I mean, as we always say, drafting at the 1 is harder, at least for me. I always have a harder time drafting at the 1, and I think TJ Clue did a great job with this draft.
Definitely, man. Looking at this team, you got Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams on your team. So it's like, okay, so you got 2 super strong wide receivers, top 10 in my book. So his running backs must have suffered, right? Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, James Conner. Okay, so then his quarterbacks suffer. Well, maybe a little bit, but he got 2 quarterbacks that have a super high ceiling. Derek Carr can throw for 1,000,000 yards if he wants to. Deshaun Watson, obviously we've seen years where he has been super elite. Can he get back to that is the question. But these are the kind of guys you're grabbing whenever you're risking that with taking Jay Jettas on your first pick. And I think they were good grabs at quarterback, man. I really like this team a lot. If I had to rate this team, I hate to do it, but it's our first draft and first grade. I've got to give it an A-.
Ooh, TJ Clue getting the first A of the offseason. I like a B+ on this. I like for the same reasons, everything you said. But the quarterback position, I don't know if Deshaun Watson is going to take that step up, but if he does, that could be great. And same thing with Derek Carr. In a Superflex league, your quarterbacks are super, super important here. And normally I want to get some guys that I'm almost positive are going to be solid, barring injury, of course. So that's why I'm going with the B+.
And I just want to say for his wide receiver 3, he has Smith and Jigba, George Pickens, or Zay Flowers, couple rookies and a second year who is shining in camp. So he's going to have options to fill that spot. And one of these guys is going to take off. I guarantee it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there's TJ Clue right there. Trent says flexing on him. It was fun, boys. Yes, sir. Heck yeah, buddy. You did good, buddy. Did good in that spot. And Job has something to tell you, Trey. He's sorry about taking your picks.
Hey, no problem, dog. You're going to get sniped when you got a good mentality on who to pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's move to the next team, though, here. Start off with old Patrick Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, Pollard, Richardson, Najee Harris, Kamara, Pitts, Dalvin Cook. Didn't get another wide receiver until the 9th round. Got Marquise Brown, Kadarius Toney, Brandon Cooks, Odell Beckham. What are you thinking, buddy?
Man, I like the team, but it's very risky towards the later rounds. I mean, Mahomes is solid. CeeDee Lamb is solid. Tony Pollard is definitely a solid running back, and Najee Harris there scares me a little bit, but not that much. Anthony Richardson as your backup quarterback. You've got Mahomes, so I like it, taking a risk on the second quarterback. But Dalvin Cook doesn't have a team. I hate Kyle Pitts. Kamara suspended for 3 weeks. And then you grab these, getting these late round wide receivers. You did get good receivers to take risks on. I mean, Marquise Brown's going to be the one on his team. Tony is going to be the one on his team as long as he can, stay on the field. Got several Cowboys on this team. That's one thing that does worry me. It's a little Cowboy heavy in my opinion. But I mean, I don't hate this team. I just don't. It's not really a team I would draft.
I mean, you got to look at the top there. Look, Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, Pollard. That's something I think that's very important in a fantasy team, is to have at least one guy that you can 100% count on in each, of your main positions, besides tight end, obviously, because Pitts, I don't think is somebody you can count on. But I just love the start there, hitting that quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and getting solid guys. And I like Najee also. And Richardson could be something special too. And if you got two quarterbacks, starting franchise guys that are leading the charge for your team, then you're going to do big things. That being said, I think I would go B- on this team. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm leaning B- as well. That's where I was leaning before you said it. I think this team could be amazing. It just has some iffy spots for me, but I like the team overall.
For sure, for sure. And Big Z says, thanks for drafting, fellas. It was fun. 0 RB for the W. 0 RB for the W. That's right here. This is homeboy right here, Big Z.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yes,
it.
Sir.
We're gonna get to you, though. We're gonna get to you at that, buddy. Anytime, man. If on Sleeper, send me a friend request, man. We'll invite you to more of these drafts if you're interested. We ain't got a lot of time left, though. The season is rapidly approaching. We got a preseason game the other day, so send me a friend request on Sleeper if you want to be included in some more of these drafts.
For sure.
But let's move on to this next guy's team. This team just looks terrible. I mean, just starting off, Jalen Hurts, Amon-Ra. Who are these people? I've never even heard of them. No, I'm just kidding. Jalen Hurts, Amon-Ra, Derrick Henry, Amari Cooper, Jared Goff, Rashad White, Kittle, Burks, Addison, Ryan, Algier, McKinnon. I got to say, just like I said about the previous team, you got 4. You hit it though. You hit it. A good guy that you can count on each position. You got a good quarterback, a good wide receiver, a stacked running back, and then you got Kittle as your tight end, which I love. My issue with this team, and I think you know what I'm going to say here, is the running backs. You got Derrick Henry, you got Rashad White, which could be a good call. He's going to be the running back 1 on his team. But, Ryan, Algier, McKinnon, your running back room scares me, but at least you got some guys to pick from. You can use your wide receivers in your flex spots there. I like everything else about this team, though, for sure.
Yeah, and that's exactly why in the 10th, 11th, and 12th round, I started grabbing running backs just because I knew I was suffering a little bit at the running back slot. I still think Derrick Henry is 2 running backs and a player, but Rashad White, I really think he's going to step up and get a lot of volume this year, but I wanted to make sure just to secure that depth there. That's why I grabbed Ryan, Algier, and McKinnon, all guys who could have an amazing season and are going to get a little bit of work regardless. So I don't think any of these guys are putting up goose eggs outside of maybe Algier, but with this new news, I mean, it just moves Algier up just a little bit more in my book.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. It's definitely going to be interesting. Now, if I had to get a grade on this team, I'm going to give you a solid B, just right there. B. I mean, maybe a B plus. No, I'm going to stick with the B. I'm going to go B here. I like B for your team.
Yeah, I would totally give it a B2, but I love a lot of these guys. This is like a fan favorite type team for me, so I'm going to have to go A for myself here.
Okay. Makes sense, buddy. Makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and skip to my team and say I got an A too, just so you know.
Yeah, we all saw that coming.
Every year, baby, every year. Let's get to Job's team. This is Yo Man Joe, usually watching us on Twitch, but he come over to the YouTube channel and drafted with us. We've been trying to get this guy in one of our drafts for a long time. I'm so glad we got you in there, buddy. Absolutely.
No doubt.
You want to go for it, Trey?
Yeah, so starting with his quarterbacks real quick, got Josh Allen and Geno Smith, both top 10 in my book, so love it. Wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Michael Pittman, Michael Thomas. Not too much depth at the wide receiver, but I like the wide receivers he got. Michael Pittman scares me a little bit. Just with Indianapolis and how their situation is panning out. But a lot of people are high on Michael Pittman. I'm just scared because the 2 years that I've expected him to produce, he's shown signs, but never fully committed. We're still waiting for that to happen. But you got Michael Thomas down there who, again, is one of those guys that we know he has produced, but can he get back to where he used to be? That is the question. And obviously, wide receivers on the waiver are a simple fact. But other than that, what do you think about the running backs on this team?
I mean, I like him. I like Madison. I like DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Williams, all guys that I think are gonna, be solid. But the thing that is missing here is, I think, is a big workhorse. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Madison is probably gonna be that for you, probably, but maybe it just seems to me like Madison, they're gonna try to do have another guy backing him up, a third down back, and all that. I just don't think Madison is going to be the guy that's going to a big third down or a big just guy to hold your team down. That's the only thing I see missing here. I love Swift. I think they're going to use Swift a lot, and I think he's dropping and dropping. I mean, it seems like he's actually rose a little in the ADP since last we drafted. But and then Herbert, he is a big solid guy, but I'm not sure if he's gonna take the reins and be the guy over there, and that's what scares me.
Yeah, man, and I agree with you. Except for I do think Alexander Madison will be the three down back. These guys. He's filled that role for Dalvin Cook before. We know he can do it. I mean, he's like his twin out there on the field. The team just has to believe in him. I think they do. They got rid of Dalvin Cook. I know they saved money, but I don't think that's the only reason they did that.
Yeah, they wouldn't have done it if they didn't think they could at least put a little trust behind Madison. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. What do you think, buddy? Final grade on Yo Man Joe's team.
I'm gonna have to give this team a solid B. Right there in the middle, not minus or plus, just a solid B overall, super solid team. Needs a little tweaking with the waiver, but other than that, this team is going to get you through the season.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, a little tweaking on the waiver, I think, is makes sense there. Yeah, I'll go B. I'll go B minus just because I'm running back is my thing. It's harder for me to uh, it's harder for me to like a team that didn't take a running back to the 6th round. You know what I mean? But I'm trying.
I feel you. I feel you. But actually, I'm gonna have to change my grade and go B plus because I did forget he got him some Dicker the kicker, and that's always a plus in my book.
Okay, getting that little plus for that little dicker. I like it. I like it. Let's move on to the next team. That's old Big Z popping. He's in there in the comments. So I'm looking at his quarterbacks here. He's got Joe Burrow, and then he got Kenny Pickett in the what is that, 9th round. I love Joe Burrow, man. I mean, they say he's hurt, but I think he's going to be fine. He's going to get out there and do his thing. And then he just went on a run of wide receivers, a dirty, dirty run of wide receivers. Got him some Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Hopkins, and then a little Mike Williams down there just in case one of these guys ain't cutting it. I really love the wide receivers here, man. They're solid. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, man. Obviously the wide receivers are solid. That's what happens when you do a no running back type draft. Running backs he's got Cam Akers, Pacheco, Charbonnet, and Elijah Mitchell. These are the kind of guys that you want in a zero RB strategy. Guys that have, shown us that they have rough weeks, but have high ceilings. I mean, Cam Akers, we've seen games where he has performed tremendously. Isaiah Pacheco, he's on our Super Bowl team and he puts up numbers. Charbonnet's a rookie who's coming in, and with Kenneth Walker's injury, it's value. When you do this zero RB strategy, you have to take value at running back. And Elijah Mitchell is perfectly there, who's going to get some work if he's healthy. And if Christian McCaffrey goes down and Elijah Mitchell can stay healthy, that's a league-winning pick.
Absolutely, absolutely. What do you think, buddy? Let's give old Big Z a big what? Big Z gets a big.
Big Z gets a big B minus in my book. I love the strategy. It scares me to death. It's hard for me to give a high grade on a team that goes late running backs, like you said. But this team is solid. This team probably makes the playoffs. It just scares me to death not getting me a solid workhorse running back.
For sure. It scares me too, buddy. If Cam Akers is your running back one, it definitely does. It scares me. Tommy popping in the comments. It wouldn't be the 100th episode without old Tommy T.
Without a doubt.
Congratulations, boys. Keep up the great work and great advice.
Thank you, Tommy.
Yes, sir, Tommy. Appreciate you, buddy, man. Tommy's a real one. Been there since what, day 3?
Right.
Love that guy, man. Love him. But yeah, let's move to the next team, buddy. We got Santa Claus. What do you want to take it away from him, buddy?
Yeah, he's got Lamar Jackson and Kirk Cousin at QB, Saquon, Etienne, and Montgomery running back, McLaurin, Godwin, Quentin Johnson, Elijah Moore, Juju, and Mark Andrews at tight end. This is one of those teams that I love. I love this team because it's boring. It's not exciting, but this team can get you to the playoffs under the rug. I mean, this is just one of those teams that nobody's talking about these players. Nobody's hyping these players up. And they're going to, outside of Lamar, but a lot of these guys are just, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin. These guys nobody really cares about, but these guys are going to put up numbers and they're going to win you weeks regardless of what people are saying about them.
Ooh, I like it, buddy. I like it. Yeah, it's a good team. Running back room. They got Barkley, ETN, David Montgomery, who's going to be a part of that two-headed monster with Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. I like it. I like the running back room. It looks like they're more of a wide receiver guy, and that's fine. They've got guys that can fill their flexes, fill their slots, and that's something I think we need to talk about. Is this whole Mark Andrews is going to outscore Travis Kelce? Have you heard about this?
I definitely have. I'll believe it when I see it. Type mentality is what I have because Travis Kelce is not human. So it's hard to compare him to a human. When you got aliens, it's just one of those things. I'll never say a human's going to be the alien until I see it.
I am a human being, says Travis Kelce. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I don't know, buddy. I think Travis Kelce is starting to get a little older. Mark Andrews ain't getting any younger either. Don't get me wrong. I will be surprised if we get a tight end one finish from Travis Kelce this year.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me because it's happened so many times. I'll be surprised if he's not in the top 5.
Yeah, I would be surprised about that too. I just don't think he's the tight end one this year. Maybe the wide receiver one. Then we had that argument.
There
the
you
other
go.
day.
There you go. I mean, if he's not tight end one, who is?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Hawkinson, maybe. I don't know.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm just throwing my money where the bets have already been won. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know, but you got to be ahead of the curve when it comes to this fantasy football game, buddy.
I feel you. But Kelce, like I said, he's not human.
Fair enough. Fair
Shout out to
enough.
all his moonmen.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, what do you think? I like what you said about how it's a boring team, but it's guys that are going to score you points and get you to the fantasy championship, and guys that are going to be rising in ADP next year because of that. So, what do you think, buddy? Final grade on old Santa Claus.
Man, I hate to keep throwing out B's, but this is a B+ team in my book. It's
Yeah.
not exciting enough to be an A, but this team could easily get you to the playoffs quietly, and you don't even got to flex on them. This team's just going to do what it does, and it's going to win.
Yeah, we need to give something out other than a B, but it is hard to say otherwise. I'd have to agree with you. They've got skilled guys in each of the spots. If I had to say which part of their team was a little weaker, it would be the wide receivers, I guess. But they're still not that weak,
No, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like, this team is solid. It just doesn't have a whole lot of weak spots. It doesn't have a lot of incredible, exciting, super flaming spots. But it just doesn't have a lot of holes in it. I like it.
For sure, for sure. Let's move on to Coach Hugh Jackson's team. We've drafted with this man plenty of times. Old Coach Hugh Jackson. And he actually sent me a picture, and apparently it is the real Coach Hugh Jackson. So that's interesting. That's something to keep your
Let's
eye
go.
out
Shout
for.
out, Coach.
Yes, sir. Shout out, Coach. Let's take a look at his team. Starting with the quarterback, you got Justin Fields, Daniel Jones. Did they grab a third guy? Kyle Trask down there as their Mr. Irrelevant pick. Yeah, he didn't even get a kicker or defense. He's like,
Nah, he'll grab that when the season starts.
yeah, which is good. I like that. But you're either way, you're gonna have to drop some of these guys. You know what I mean? I guess
Right, right.
before week one. So why not? You know. Anyway, so yeah, I like Justin Fields. Daniel Jones last year, you know, people were kind of sleeping on old DJ, but he sure hopped up and did some things that impressed a few people, especially for Superflex. Um, Looking at the running backs, waited to the sixth round to grab a guy. And in the sixth round, they got Miles Sanders, which I love. Javonte Williams, which apparently he's back. You got Brian Robinson, who's also uh, basically the running back one. I mean, that's a really pretty good strategy there. I mean, you waited the sixth round to get running backs, but you got value in your running backs, don't you think?
Yeah, this is one of those zero RB strategy type teams that I would actually like to have. The other one, like I said, it just wasn't really my kind of look. But Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, Brian Robinson, Devon A. Chain, I mean, Jalen Warren even down there just in case the Najee Harris thing goes down. I really don't hate this team, man. They got Hill, Olave, and Jerry Jeudy, all high flying, high scoring wide receivers. Justin Fields on the ground, like I said, that could go either way, but he is good at fantasy, regardless if he's good at the actual sport. Daniel Jones, who put up numbers last year, and Darren Waller at tight end, who's one of my go-to tight end guys in the later rounds. This team scares me a little bit with some of these guys, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard not to give this team an A.
I know. I'm thinking A minus, honestly,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
everything is spread out so nicely. You got players in each position. I think that's the best way to put it is what you just said. It's the zero RB strategy done correctly. Coach Hugh Jackson knows what he's doing over there, and I'd be pretty scared to have him in my league.
No doubt, no doubt.
This guy definitely knows his stuff. Yeah, I'm going A minus for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Moving on to the next team here. Start off, it's Magnoliuzuan, something like that. But this guy is also another guy who's been in a few of our drafts before. So, real quick, Travis Sumter popping in says, balanced AF. What's up, boys? What's up, Travis Sumter? We're going to see him at the Fantasy Football Expo later this week. Yeah,
So if y'all gonna be there, come by the booth, come see your boys at the Fourth and Flex in person. Maybe play a little beer pong with us. We're gonna have a lot going on, giving away a lot of jerseys. Stop by and see us. Say what's up.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be dope over in Canton, Ohio, right next to the Football Hall of Fame. Come and see us at the Fantasy Football Expo. But
Do it.
anyways, let's go with the quarterbacks here. Justin Herbert, grab Brock Purdy in the 9th round, then CJ Stroud, just in case. That's pretty good little combo there. I think that's a pretty good little combo. Then got Kelsey in the 2nd round. The running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Brees Hall, Devonta Foreman. I mean, if you're just going to use your 2 running backs here, Jonathan Taylor, Brees Hall. Brees Hall is he's going to be ready for the start of the season, right?
Yeah,
Right?
no, I think so. That's what it sounds like. I mean, he's gonna be good to go and ready.
Yeah. What about Jonathan Taylor?
That's the problem. You see, he fell to the 3rd round, and to me, that's still scary that we haven't heard anything recently. I mean, that's the biggest deal. I thought maybe a couple days and it just kind of wave off and be like, oh, no big deal. But it's still like we still haven't really heard anything, so it does scare me to look at Jonathan Taylor now. If it works out and it's no big deal and nothing at all, you got value in the 3rd. So it's like I don't know, it's hard.
It's kind of what we talked about, though. When you're taking Kelsey a little higher, the rest of your team sort of seems to suffer, but you want Kelsey there to kind of make up for it, right?
I think this team lives or die on Jonathan Taylor.
You think so, huh? I like the wide receivers: Higgins, Drake London, Ayuk, Mike Evans. Very me type of wide receivers, wouldn't you say?
Definitely, your type of wide receivers there.
But if you've got my type of wide receivers, then you need to have my type of running backs, which are solid, big guys.
Exactly. Which, not to say Jonathan Taylor and Brees Hall aren't, but there's so many question marks around them. You got to have a guy that you can rely on. For me, that puts this team for me at a C plus just because of unreliability at running back.
Yep. I'm gonna go C plus as well. Yeah, I agree. And Marie popping in.
What up, mama?
What up, Ma? How you doing? Look, if your mom's gonna pop in, then my mom's gonna pop in too. What's up,
Hey.
Ma? Showing love to the moms out there. Like it. All right, let's move on to the next team. I'm gonna let you take this one away, buddy.
Yeah, let's check out this guy's team. All right. This guy's name is Bandy from Fourth and Flex. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Quarterbacks, he got him some Lawrence and some Tua Tungavaloa. Running backs, Nick Chubb, Jameer Gibbs, Damian Pierce, James Cook. Running back solid as always. Wide receiver, Debo Kirk, Dotson, Lazard, Nico Collins. Not the greatest, but obviously, when you get the running backs like that, you got to suffer a little bit at wide receiver. Not saying these wide receivers are bad. I'm just saying they're not the number ones. So looking at it, I don't hate this team at all. It's a very you team. Dalton Schultz, that's my dude. Man, this is tough. I love the Trevor Lawrence too. I think in a super flex, that's a great combo to have, especially in the 9 spot. I think if you're in the 9 spot and you're not getting Lawrence into it, you're doing something wrong. I think that's the perfect quarterbacks in that spot. And I applaud you for that, sir. Yeah, this team to me is a I'm gonna have to go A minus. I'm gonna have to go A minus.
I am the smartest man alive.
The only thing that I fear at this team is your wide receiver 3, but you have many options to choose from. And once the year starts, you'll be able to figure that out. So I dig it.
Wrong. My team's great. I'm just kidding. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah. I tried something a little different here. Could you tell? Like you've seen me all my teams that I've drafted almost, and do you think my team turned out a little bit better the way I
do,
drafted?
and I think it's because you of Debo Samuel. You've had several drafts where Christian Kirk was your one. And and don't get me wrong, you probably got a couple better running backs, but some of these running backs can be just as good easily. So I like the way this one flowed. I like the style of it better, and it was in the later rounds of drafts, which you tend to not like.
Yeah, you're right. I do. You're right. Hey, okay. Maybe I need to do a couple more mocks and just kind of test a few more things out, see how it falls, buddy. I like it. That's the thing, man. If you're a fantasy football player, you're always getting better. You're always learning. You're always, changing things up and trying to become better.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody noticed, but we're using an old school for the celebration of our 100th episode. We're using the old school Fourth and Flex logo and backsplash. So again, the 100th episode of Fourth and Flex. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't believe it, buddy. 100 episodes.
Yeah, man, and I mean, go back and watch our first episode and just see how much we've grown. I mean, we're here, we're stacking up the followers week by week. We got this big expo coming up. We got big things. We got Believe taking us on. I mean, if you're not around, you're not subscribed, you are missing out for sure.
Yep, and I was on the radio the other day, sporting some Fourth and Flex in Oregon, 95.3 FM, The Score in Oregon. So just throwing that out there, man. Fourth and Flex is on the rise, baby. We're on the rise, we're on the rise like James Cook's IADP.
There you go. There you go.
But let's go. We got a couple more teams left here, buddy. Started off with Jamar Chase in the first round. Their quarterbacks here, since it's Superflex, we'll start there. Dak Prescott, Bryce Young. Did they get a third guy down at the bottom? Jimmy G down at the bottom, just in case. I like that. I like that with the quarterbacks. Prescott's not my favorite, but I've seen people do good things with Dak Prescott as their quarterback. I think you had him last year, and you rode him all the way to you rode him into the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
But let's look at the running backs. Josh Jacobs in the third round. Kenneth Walker, Gibson, Dillon. I like that. I like Jacobs. The question mark around him is a little scary. Walker, the question mark around him is scary, but healthy. These are solid guys. Healthy and no problems. Solid guys. But there are questions around him, so I don't like that. I guess, I mean, think about it. Like if Kenneth Walker doesn't play, Josh Jacobs doesn't sign his contract, what you got? You got to start Gibson and Dillon or Singletary as your RB1 and 2.
Exactly, exactly. This team could be great, and this team could fail miserably. I don't love the quarterbacks. I don't hate them. The
Hmm.
wide receivers, I don't love. I don't hate. The running backs, I don't love. I don't hate. This is just a very middle of the road kind of team for me. I'm gonna have to go with a C plus on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna go just a C with some waiver wire work though. I mean, I could see this team becoming something really good. Waivers in trades and all that good stuff. That's another reason why you should be subscribed to Fourth and Flex, because we're giving you our waiver wire show, our starts and sits of the week. We even do a show where we answer your last minute fantasy questions before the big games on Sundays. So don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become part of the Fourth and Flex family.
Come flex with us.
Come flex with us. Okay, we got two left, buddy. You want to take this one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Frayne H2O. Started off with the CMC pick, Cooper Kupp, Ramondre Stevenson, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Penny Davis. Quarterbacks are Wilson and Stafford. This team is super solid outside of their quarterbacks. Obviously, I think Russell Wilson is going to have a better year. Do I think he's a QB1? I don't know for fantasy. I don't think that's a very sure thing to say. But Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Ramondre Stevenson, Keenan Allen, that start there is super solid. Obviously, you have to suffer at quarterback when you grab that start. And I like DJ Moore and Deontay Johnson as well. So I like everything about this team outside of its quarterbacks. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I have to agree. We are talking super flex here, and but they had the right idea, I think, when it came to this draft. Look, you're at the end of your draft in super flex. Um, so what you got to do? All the good quarterbacks are going off the board. You got to take your skill players, your McCaffreys, your Cups, your Stevensons, even Keenan Allen. I like it. Maybe you should have got like a Tua or somebody else, just a solid guy to lead your quarterback room there. Um, but you know what I'm saying though with that?
I can feel it. I can feel it. But I mean, looking at this team, it's really hard. I mean, I can't give this team anything less than a B
Yeah,
with Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Ramondre Stevenson, and Keenan Allen. That start right there. I mean, just the Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, that's going to put you at a B team.
you're 100%
Um,
right.
so I've got to go B, and I'm going to stay in the middle there because of the question marks. But this is a solid B for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And those quarterbacks could just ball out and it'd be a great team. That's the thing. It's like you got the Russell Wilson, the Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's being slept on because of what happened last year, the injury. And he's got the stack with Cup. So,
Exactly.
oof. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with the B with that one.
All right, that moves us on to our last team of the night, the 12 spot, the dreaded 12 spot, one of my favorite spots to draft from, by the way. Starting off with his running backs, Eckler, Bijan, and J.K. Dobbins. Quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, going a little, yin-yang on them, I think, with that. Kyler Murray just for some late year security. Calvin Ridley, Christian Watson, Bateman, Sutton, Rice. It's tough drafting the 12 spot. I don't hate this team. The Bijan and J.K. Dobbins, I don't want to let that get to me that Bijan is listed as the RB3, but it is. I mean, the more I think about it, it scares me. But, that's a risk you're going to have to take if you want to win fantasy. What do you think about this team?
Yeah, I gotta say, I love the start. I'm one of those guys who hate drafting from the 12th spot. But look, you grab Austin Eckler and Bijan as your running backs, and look, what does he do? He grabs like a good quarterback right after that, instead of waiting another 2 or 3 rounds like the team before, who managed to pull it off, but they go and they get their quarterback right away, which I really like. And then they start to get more skilled players. I like Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love is a starting quarterback, but will he produce to the level that we need him to be our second in a super flex league? He's got a stack with Christian Watson. That could help a lot. I love the running backs. The wide receivers leave something to be desired, but they got Ridley and Watson, and then they can rotate between these other three guys. Rice, I think, got hurt, but he's supposedly having some great chemistry with Patrick Mahomes, so that's something to check out.
Yeah, man. I think
yeah.
I would love this team if they would have took Damian Pierce instead of J.K. Dobbins right there. I think this team would be super solid in my book.
Yeah, just that solid running back to count on. Yeah, and they would have took him from me, which would have made you happy as well, right?
That's right, baby. That's right. But this is the kind of late round quarterbacks that I'm looking for in a super flex, a Rodgers and Love kind of situation, because both of them, are solid floors, not super low floors. We've seen Jordan Love play. He's put up fantasy points. Aaron Rodgers, but both of them have ceiling through the roof. I mean, Jordan Love, if he can pull off, the type of Aaron Rodgers did in Green Bay, then he's going to be a fantasy monster. And he's being slept on, I think, in my opinion. But outside of that, I do like this team a lot. I don't think it's good enough to give it an A. I'm tired of giving out Bs, but I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to go B-.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with just a regular B here, just because I love the start with the Eckler and Bijan so much, and then grabbing Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go just a solid B with this team. Great job, everybody, drafting, man. What a bunch of B's given out, which,
I mean, that just means we got guys in there know what they're doing at the spot.
Exactly, and that's the kind of drafts that you want to be a part in, guys that are like just in it to win it, baby,
No doubt, no doubt.
Guys, don't forget we are on Patreon. So if you listen to some of the fantasy advice that you got here today, don't forget to check out our Patreon. You become one of our members. We can help you with your team. We can help you get to the playoffs, baby, for sure. And don't forget that we got merch. We got shirts, hats, cups, anything you need with a logo with 4th and Flex on it. Get in there and get you some. Look at Trey rocking the gear. I love it. I love it. Trey, final thoughts. The season is so close away. Big things are happening with us. Final thoughts, my friend.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that has followed us and has supported us through this journey. This is our 100th episode. We are mad excited to be here, and we cannot wait to see where this takes us. It's 4th and Flex all day, so y'all need to come flex with us because we're here to stay.
That's right, baby. I had to hit it one more time before we go. The 100th episode of 4th and Flex. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, for being a part of this draft, for making 4th and Flex what it has become and what it can be. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace out, 100.
100.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live